Welcome to Linda Disasway's Sumagashi Workshop, otherwise known as Marbled Paper Workshop. Today we're going to make sumagashi, which means floating on water in Japanese, and it's an famous art that is practiced in Japan, where you take ink and lay it on water and then you print it on paper. So we're going to get started. Here we go. So I'm taking a little bit of blue and putting it in my water, and it's hard to see at first, but once I add more colors you'll start seeing it. But I'm just putting a little bit of drop of ink onto the water in this vat, and it's spreading very well. It depends on the moisture in the atmosphere, how the inks react. Now you can start seeing a little more of the blue. Starts as a circle and then opens up. So we're getting a little bit more on our palette in our vat. Now I'm going to add yellow. Here we go, on top of the blue. And you're just gently touching that. You're not dunking it, just gently touching it. Makes these circles. And the circles become different shapes as you add more circles. A little more yellow here. And then we're going to add red. So we're building our layers by adding more circles on top of circles. The red you can really see. Okay, now we have a good amount of paint in our vat, and I'm just going to take the end of my brush, any tool that has a point or a small rounded edge will work. I'm going to take the end of my brush and I'm gently just going to drag it through. This kind of make hearts. You have full circles. When you do this, you have to go slow because you're moving the paint on the top of the surface. There's a lot of different designs that we'll talk about in the workshop, and we'll also talk a little more about the history and the different cultures that practice this art of marbling paper. So I'm just going through. Now I have some areas, like this is really nice red in here. This is a little more open. You can keep it that way, but if you want it to be more mixed like that, then you can come back in and just move the ink around. It's ink, not paint. Okay, but you can do this with ink too. That's another technique that you can use. Then you just take your copy paper, and I like this side. My vat is always bigger than my paper, so I'm actually going to go right about in here because that's the design I like the best. And just lay it down. If it tilts a little bit, try to stop the urge. I always have the urge to make it back square, but if it does that, you don't want to twist it, because then whatever movement the water has, that's going to change the design. So now I'm waiting a couple minutes or so, and I will start to see the design come through on the back of the paper. And that's when you know your ink has bonded to the paper. So this may take a couple of seconds. You see the paint or the ink. I always use paint, so I keep calling it paint, but it's ink. The ink that's on the outside. So what you could come back and do is what we call a ghost print. And you could come back and make a second print from your first original design. You can also reprint. So say something happened and it's not as vibrant, or you just want more paint on there, you want different colors, you can come back and put another print on the print that we're going to see in a few minutes. You're starting to see that you can see the design coming on the back side. It's on the front, but you're seeing it through the back. And so that's telling you that it's bonding with the paper. So we're going to give it a few more minutes. And then we are going to pull it and see our beautiful marbled or Sumagashi paper. Okay, it's really starting to show. So I'm going to go ahead and pick it up. It's kind of amazing when you do this. And here's what we have, a beautiful marbled paper. And then you just let that dry, and you don't have to set it with heat or anything. It's bonded to the paper. There you go, marbled paper. It's very fun. Come join the workshop and make marbled paper with Linda Does This Way. Have a great day. Bye.